in Iraq. Well, Hamish de Bretton-Gordon is a former commander of British chemical and biological counter-terrorism forces. He also runs COO, that's a company which specialises in the study of chemical weapons. He joins us now via webcam from Salisbury in southwest England. Hamish, so what is the risk that ISIS fighters could reactivate the Al-Muthanna complex?
I think the risk at the moment is pretty low and no need to panic. And I think that the US and the UK governments are very much playing it down. However, we do know that there are still very large stockpiles of very old nerve agents, which are well past their sell-by date, and probably some mustard gas as well, which might be more viable. But it is sealed in concrete reinforced bunkers. So it's unlikely that quickly the ISIS fighters could get to it. However, we have seen wide use of chemical weapons in Syria. ISIS have seen that being used, and particularly improvised chemical weapons like chlorine. Al-Qaeda used mustard shells and others between 2004 and 2009 to create havoc in Iraq. And there is some pretty good evidence that ISIS have been doing some research into the use of chemical weapons. So I don't think there's any immediate risk. And I'm sure lots of security services are looking at this very carefully, but there would be the potential, if they could break into those bunkers, that they could be used in some form in future.
Okay, getting the chemical weapons is one thing, but briefly, once they get them, do they actually have the delivery weapons for those chemical substances?
No, they certainly don't have conventional delivery mechanisms like artillery and rockets. But as we've seen in Syria, barrel bombs and IEDs could be fashioned, and I think it is the terror created, particularly in the civil population, by the potential use of chemical weapons that we've seen so effective in Syria that ISIS might, at some stage, decide to replicate in Iraq, particularly if things start going bad for them, because this is the modus operandi, the way of using them that the Assad regime have done in Syria.
Hamish de Bretton-Gordon in Salisbury, thanks very much indeed for talking us through that.